Hello lads and lasses, my name is Jack and here we are playing the Stanley Parable. Now to play this game, I've told it's control enabled, so I thought I'd try and use the Steam controller today. I don't know if you can see that properly. Made a little sound. So we're going to begin the game. Okay. The end is never. The end is never. The end is loading. Never. The loading's taking a lot longer than it normally does. Guess it went mad. Come on, we don't have all day.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Was he?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Well, that's quite good with the Steam controller, because if you can see on the pad. I'm using it. I've not really used this often. But what I know about this game is, essentially there's a narrator basically telling me how to live my life. And you can obey him or disobey him, so just...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. There's no one here. Sort of reminds me like Portal design. I think it is by the Beat Valve, this game. I'm not quite sure.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, did I? Let's go to the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I'm glad that was the
and
right.
Stanley
I briefly
well.
thought for a second.
Perhaps
then.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, little things just think of. Okay. This is very...
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Room. This is a nice little break room. Not many tables. It's maybe a table I could put a coffee on or something. A little table down there. What the fuck? I've got to bend down to get a coffee.
Yeah. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, let's see what he wants. Ooh.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ooh. Button. Push the button. Where am I going now? Come on, Mr. Narrator. That's loading. That's faster this time, at least.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
What about the other doors? I don't have a choice.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
You son of a bitch, come on. I went to the right as well.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
It's like that game I saw a bit since, like a bomb game. There's someone on the other side, like reading through the paper while you're solving the bomb. This is exactly what this is like.
Left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Are you sure? There's nothing in here. Oh. What the fuck is this? Whoa.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Where do I go?
I just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
I destroyed the story on the
trying to
first
salvage this
go.
nonsense. We'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time,
I destroyed
suppose
the
we
game
don't
on
wander
the
so
first
far
go.
off track, Okay, from the top.
All I got told was I could do I didn't have to do as he says. Okay. Let's try this again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Possibly. Hello? See, here's a window. Why am I in a fucking cold little closet? Jesus Christ. This Stanley gets screwed. Okay.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Oh.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley,
there's about 6 doors
did you
now.
change anything when we were back in that room with all the
Fucking
monitors?
blame me,
Did
I
you
didn't touch a damn
move the
thing.
story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Exactly.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Over there, yeah. Should I go left? I'll do as he says this time. He said left up here this time. Where do I go now? Right here? I'm in a maze! I don't know where I am, and I have a feeling he doesn't either. Oh. What the...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can
How did I
promise
get
you
from...
there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Oh,
I
please,
find it
no.
unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ah. I almost sold it. There we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I
Perhaps he had
broke the
simply
game
missed a
on the
memo.
first go. Oh, it's normal. And now there's...
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be
There's no doors
remembering
now.
this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Oh, you're fucking
Why don't we
kidding
go
me.
back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, then. Let us see, shall we? I didn't do it. Uh-huh. Nothing. Whoa.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
I'm sure I like
No,
this.
wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
So we get for not following... Oh, whoa. What the fuck?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite
You
recall,
should
but I
know.
believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Now what?
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
God.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay?
I didn't expect
I'm
the
getting weirded
narrator
out by
to
whatever
have
this place is.
Alzheimer's.
I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, there's a line this time.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Seems pretty simple to me. Considering I broke the game on the first go, that's pretty damn good. I didn't go through here last time. This is new. Okay.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being
It's on
via
the
the very
walls now.
manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence
It's
is
like
in
a
fact
philosopher with
byproduct
Alzheimer's is the guy
of one's
guiding me through
subjective
this game.
experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence
What?
rests
So?
inside of your subjective experience of this office, is
Okay.
this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well,
Yes,
I'd
it
like to
did.
apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, this is pretty good. Off on an adventure.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
The fern? This fern?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Yes. It's a fern. I don't think that was worth cutting off that awesome music for, though. Fucking.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
There's
no,
a line there.
no.
What the hell's that got?
Line? You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I think the line is on crack. And we're back here.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
Fired.
Restart.
Oh, for God's sakes! Is there a part where I could kill myself?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now,
Creepy
yes,
old man.
this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild.
Yeah, the camera's
Use your
really slow, so
imagination.
sorry, that's not-
Whatever
that's
it
me
might be,
using the Steam
Stanley,
controller.
I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Oh, no, not you
The
again.
line's back.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
The line is kind of going in my direction, so... What the fuck? Again, this line is on crack or something. Oh, bye-bye. Yeah, this is really hard on the fucking steam control. Right, where are we going now?
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
I was just paying attention. Oh, that looks...
Oh, hold up, what's this?
The confusion ending. I've been playing for about...
The confusion ending?
16 minutes.
You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
How many have we done it so far?
That's really how all this goes?
There's no longer an
It's
office,
all
simply black space.
determined?
Let's find a book, get bored.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
You said it was your story.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
We won again!
How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
Took it away from me.
Will something happen?
I don't know.
So, okay.
Okay.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Oh,
well, in the meantime...
Fuck, what was that? Was that me? What just happened? Buddy?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
By this time we'll do as he says and see what happens. I mean, Jesus Christ.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'll do as you say, buddy. I broke him last time.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not
Feeling a
getting fired.
wave of disbelief,
Talk less.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I was reading that. Wait, where's the projector? Oh, ghosts? Oh, there it is. Never mind. It's me. Alright, let's just... You say that, I gotta fucking scroll like fuck to just turn the camera around. I'm not sure I like the Steam controller that much.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What if I go downstairs? I'm gonna try and break the game again.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Oh no,
And as
I'm trapped in a
Stanley
loop.
pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yes. Oh, the dream. It's
What a
all fine.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
How do I get a car?
He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
No, it's not.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now,
Yeah,
hearing
you're
the
lying to
voice
me.
speak these
This
words
is
was
a
quite a
dream.
shock to Stanley.
What the fuck
After
is
all,
going on? Am I
he knew
seriously
for
just going for a
certain,
room
beyond
now?
a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could
Oh my god.
he
I'm
would
the
prove
narrator.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this
Oh,
one.
yes.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Wake up.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my
Oh, at least
job.
he's got something more.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, there we go. It's
I am okay.
good. Yes. Son of a bitch!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
Ah, that is good.
And everything went black.
What the fuck? There's better not be a jump scare.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the fuck?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
All they did was go
I know
downstairs.
what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
That's rather interesting.
And then she turned and ran.
She's not running. Okay, so... Is it the same hallway? Are we still... Oh, look.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's just run through this right quick. See, I think that was the ending. I think I've been tricked before by this. This time we'll go upstairs.
Yet there was not a single person
Sitting
here
in fire
either.
all the time, every
Feeling a
day.
wave of disbelief,
Don't get
Stanley
fired.
decided to
That's
go
good.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah, we'll go up this
Coming
time.
to a staircase,
Apologize.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, damn camera. Steam controller needs to work for different games. Oh. Okay, right. Okay. Ooh, nice little receptionist office. And doors.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, but I did.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Well, I'm going on down then, apparently. What the fuck's going on here? Ooh. I think we're still playing. Jesus Christ, I don't know what's happening anymore. Loading. Yeah, I think that's what it's saying is, no matter what you do, it's like trying to say
Descending
maybe
deeper
your
into the
world is
building,
already...
Stanley realized
Maybe
he
we
felt
don't
a
have
bit
free will
peculiar.
after all. Maybe there is
It
someone
was a
narrating our
stirring of
lives all
emotion
along.
in his chest,
Telling
as
us
though
what
he
to do
felt
if we
more
ever went
free
off
to think for
script.
himself, to question the nature of his
It would
job.
lead to chaos.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
And I'm in a creepy basement.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
Mind
read
control.
Mind Control Facility.
Escape! Screw you.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I'll probably go back then.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and
Yeah, I'm
realized
sick of
he
you.
simply had too much to live for.
I do. Ooh, button.
The lights rose on an enormous
back here.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, footsteps. And cameras.
Now the monitors jumped
I bet that's probably the
their
ending.
true nature
someone's been
revealed.
sacked. Two.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Well,
And
there are a lot
Stanley,
worse images.
one
I
of
think
them,
there's so
eternally
many
monitored in
endings
this
to choose from.
place where freedom meant nothing.
Like the violent death one, I didn't choose. I left.
This mind control facility, it was too
Yeah, it's
horrible
like saying,
to
are we
believe it
actually
couldn't
in
be
control
true.
of our-
Had Stanley
of our
really been
lives?
under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in
maybe
someone
we're in
else's
denial about this as
control?
well.
Never. It was
Lot of
unthinkable,
life
wasn't
to
it?
consider.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working.
Ooh, sure.
All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Damn
For he
straight.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What's undo? Now let's press off. Broke the game again. I'm still moving, guys. I see a little flicker. I don't know if you can.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Fuck's that guy's fucking.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yeah, there's so
Where
many
had
different
his
answers to
co-workers
this.
gone? How had he been freed from the
And
machine's
there's
grasp?
no way of
What
knowing
other
certainty.
mysteries
I
did
could
this
actually go the whole
strange
way and
building
say
hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking,
That was a great
but
way to end the
happiness.
video. Just a
Perhaps
nice
his
happy
goal
ending.
had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do,
So this is
or
what the
how to
definition
feel.
of free will is. Someone
Whatever life
do
he
what you
lives,
want and
it
no
will
one
be
tell you what to do.
his. And that was all he needed to know.
Oh, this
It
reminds
was
me of, like,
perhaps
Yorkshire
the only
countryside,
thing
actually.
worth
It's quite nice.
knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
On the fucking thing. There we go.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
Oh, this is
the feeling of liberation,
So this is what
the
people want.
immense
This is-
possibility of the new path before
Exactly.
him. This was exactly the
So that tells
way,
you a lot about
right
life,
now,
actually.
that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
There we go. So he sent me back to that fucking office. So I got to repeat the process again. The end is never. So you guys send me back to random things, and not sending me back to the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Okay.
he entered the door on his left.
I'm going to leave this here. This is a very interesting game. There's so many different endings to it. It tells you a lot about life, like are we really in control? What is free will? Many different things pondering. Like there's a lot of people who out there think they're going crazy, think they're going mad, and this is like the descent into madness of what is life, the very question of life, and it is quite interesting. There's so many endings. I might come back to this, see if there's like any funny endings. Like I could keep doing another video of this. But right now, this seems like I've disobeyed, I've confused the world, and I've got the perfect ending, apparently. That's the ending where we followed everything and did as we were told. Anyway, it's been great watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you want to play this game as well, because I don't know how many endings there are. This game could go on forever for all I know. There might be many secret endings that I don't know about. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night, and good luck.